Good morning to each and everyone. I am Samuel Encarnacion, and my greetings to our professor, Dr. Jessica Aringa, and to all my classmates. I am tasked to report what is an emotional development. The word emotion is a derivative of a Latin word emovere, which means to stir up or agitate or excite. The mental thinking or feeling of a person at a particular instant of time, knowingly or unknowingly, is called emotion. Emotions are complex psychological and biological responses consisting of subjective feelings, sociological reactions, and expressive behaviors to internal and external stimuli. What is emotion? According to Kimball Young, an emotion is the all-around state of organism marked by increased bodily activity and strong feelings directed to some subject. According to Crow and Crow, an emotion is an affective experience that accompanies generalized inner adjustment and mental, sociological stirred-up states in the individual, and that shows itself in his overt behavior. An emotion is a stimulate learner's attention and trigger the learning process. They affect what is learned and what is retained. Numerous studies across a range of disciplines, including neuroscience, education, and psychology, have revealed that emotions play an important role in learning. So this is according to Seeley et al. 5 on July 2019. So an emotions has a big factor on the learning process of the students. It can trigger how they retain, how they learn something from a certain topic. So how are we going to develop our emotion? Or what we call this one, an emotional development. An emotional development is a process that a child develops from dependence to a fully functioning adult and applies to most life forms. Emotional development refers to the ability to recognize, express, and manage feelings at different stages of life and to have empathy for the feelings of others. So, emotional development, this is how we're going to develop your emotion, how you're going to learn from the negative and from the positive uh, emotions, or are going to adapt, or how are you going to adapt the negative or the positive feelings that you can't affect your uh, pers- personality, and this is how you're going to apply in your day-to-day life, basic living. So according to study, we have a lot of characteristics of emotions. One is the core of an emotion is feeling. So always remember that we have two kinds of feelings. So it can be a negative feeling or a positive feeling. So emotional experiences are associated with some instinct or biological drive. So how our mother uh, develop her emotions during her preg- pregnancy period. So emotions are the products of perception. So next, every emotional experience involves several physical and sociological changes in organism. So uh, it evolves how we're going to adapt the positive and negative feelings. So we're going to learn from it. Next is the basic ways of expressing emotions are inborn and it develops through maturation. So according to study, unemotional developments are inborn. So upon giving birth to us, our emotions are already there, but it will develop through maturation. So maturation from giving birth up to the adult stage. Emotions are rise abruptly and die slowly. Next, some emotion can be aroused by a number of difficult stimuli. And last, emotions have quality of displacement. There are a lot of common emotional patterns in childhood. First is fear. So fear can trigger your emotion. So fear, you are fear of something. Anger. So anger, so it leads to your an emotion. Jealousy. Yung you are jealous of something because you want that, you want this. So it's a jealousy. Fourth, grief, curiosity, joy, pleasure, and delight. So these are the common emotional patterns in childhood that can uh, trigger our emotional development. The question is, how we're going to develop our emotions. So how to develop emotions? So according to Spitz, Spitz 1949 has observed, emotions are not present ready-made from birth. Like any sector of human personality, they have to develop. Emotional development is due to first maturation, second learning. So emotions, so it our emotion is not ready made from birth. So meaning to say, so upon giving birth to us, uh, there the emotions are not there, but this is how we're going to develop the emotions, how we're going to adapt the emotions. It depends of what kind of personality you are. So first, if we are going to have to develop our maturation, our development is through maturation. Maturation meaning to say you can handle your feelings, whether it can be positive or negative feelings, whether it can also negative emotions or positive emotions. And second, learning. So learning meaning to say you know how to balance, you know you know how to adapt the emotions, whether these emotions can lead that can might hurt others, or that emotions can lead for you to hurt yourself, or that emotions that you are going to adopt, it can be helpful to yourself. So not to either one alone. So the maturation is not depending only through maturation, but they but uh, they are always what we call the ones align or twined, the maturation and learning how to become matured of our emotions. So first is maturation. So second is learning. So again, not to either one alone. So we can't develop our emotions if we have only this maturation. We can't develop our emotions if we have only this learning. So the two factor are always together. Bridge chart. So anyone what is bridge chart? Bridge chart is it is a chart processed by Bridge in 1931. It shows the scheme of emotional development in children. In the chart, she gives an account of approximate age in which different emotions appear first. So this is a chart how how we're going to determine the development of our emotions. So it can be from the range of this age up to the range of this age. So like later on, after this slides, we're going to know so what is breed chart is all about. So this chart shows or tells us, according to breed charts, that from from birth to 3, 6, 12, 18, and to 24 months. So makikita naman natin dito, classmates, that from birth the emotion starts in excitement, and to 3 months they start an emotion of delight and distress. And after that, after 6 months, uh, we or the baby experience the anger and disgust and fear. So 6 months, and then 12 months. So what 1 year. So we can know how to feel an affection and elation, and in 18 months, an affection for children, affections for adults. So we can start our affection to our mother, to the one who are caring, who are taking good care to us, who are caring us, and by 2 years old or 24 months, we can start the different feelings. So we have this joy. Joy leads to hope, and then jealousy, and then our anger. So our anger uh develops into 2 years old, with it leads to envy and disappointment. And looking back at the six month upon giving birth to us or the baby, so fear, after 2 years, leads to, it can have the anxiety and shame. So this is the stages of the development of our emotions. So during infancy, according to her newborn, infants have no differentiated emotional response but show only generalized excitement. So looking back our chart, from breed chart, so 0 to 3 months, so we have only this excitement. So by this, she means that specific reactions, even as responses to strong stimuli, cannot be detected during the first week. Only very general and uncontrolled muscle reactions can be observed. This stage is over in very short time, because it can only have this uh, duration, 3 months only. So 0 to upon giving birth, from giving birth up to 3 months, so we have only this excitement, or the baby have this excitement feelings or emotion. So this is again from our bridge chart. So at 3 months, excitement develop into distress, and delight in this distress dominates more. So as we can recall from our uh, bridge chart, so from giving birth, upon giving birth to 3 months, so we have only one emotion, the excitement, and it can develop to distress and delight. Next, from at 6 months, the negative emotions take the lead, and distress develop into fear, disgust, and anger. So looking back our chart again, so 6 months, after 6 months, the distress can be developed into fear, disgust, and anger. So it's the superlative emotion, feelings or an emotion. So 12 months, positive emotions enter in the field in the light, differentiated into elation and affection. So from 12 months, the baby or the baby can have this positive. So they can, from the delight, it can develop or leads to elation and affection. So they can start affect an affection towards someone. especially to the mothers to whom who care the baby. So at 18 months, jealousy develops from distress and an affection differentiates into affection to adults and affection for children. So this is what we have in our breed, breeds chart. Okay, during childhood, so we have this early childhood. Childhood starts from the age of 2 to 5 years old or either 3 to 6 years old. So at 24 months, which is equivalent to 2 years old, delight was further differentiated and joy appears. So from the negative feelings from delight, so it can be differentiated, it can have these positive feelings. So joy, which means a synonyms of happiness or enjoyment. At 5 years or 60 months, fear is again differentiated into shame and anxiety. So from fear, so it can lead to shame. So uh, a baby or a 5-year-old children can have this shame and anxiety. So he or she have this anxiety to different situation that he or she is bringing within herself or himself. Anger is again differentiated into disappointment and envy. So, anger leads to, so, pwede na siyang ma-disappoint sa mga bagay-bagay na kanyang naranasan o na-experience. And envy, so yung he or she can have this jealousy or envy. So, from the light, so it can give hopes is differentiated. So from delight leads to hope. So there is hope. So there are factors affecting childish emotionality. So when we call childish, so meant to say from the other word, so ito yung tinatawag nating isip bata. So first is we have this health and physical development. The children weak in somatic structure or suffering from illness are more emotionally upset and stable than children having better health. So we can different the two children. One is having this illness, or the second is a children having better health. So ano sa daw? Uh, Tawag niyan. Those children who have suffering from illness, they get easily upset and their emotions are not stable compared to those who are in good health. Second is intelligent or intelligence. An intelligent person with his reasoning and thinking powers exercise control according to the situation and make proper of their emotions. So there is a saying that in our prop ed subject, what is intellectually giant but you are emotionally dwarfed. So this is mean that even if you are good in mind or good in your IQ intelligent quotient, but you don't know how to control emotion, so that is not an intelligence. So intelligent person means when we're going to refer to emotions, he or she knows how to handle her or him uh, his or her emotion properly. So he can or she can control her emotion depending on the situation. So they can make it or they can use it according to the situation. Next factor is family, where cordial atmosphere prevail at home. Children develop positive emotions, while conflicts and tensions in the family relationship give birth to negative emotions. The size of the family, socioeconomic status of the family, parental attitudes, etc. also influence the emotional development of a children. So it's a big factor if the family the parents and the parents, especially the mother and father, they are the one who will have the parental guidance of the children, so that the emotion of the children from being young up to he or she are going to have his maturation and development will be will be monitored. So it's a big factor if we have this parental guidance, and also the numbers of the family or the size of the family. It will affect the development of the children, of their emotional development. And also if those family, or especially those child who are experiencing and conflicts and tensions, if the mothers and the father are sometimes get troubled, sometimes they get into war, so it can leads to a negative emotions of the children. Kaya nga 'di ba, maraming mga troublemaker ngayon na mga bata due to the family relationship, because some of them are brought by a broken family. Some of them raised from uh, a size family where it is the exact size where the parents should have this parental guidance, kasi hindi niya maisa-isa yung mga bata na manurture yung tamang pag-uugali ng bata, kasi nga busy sila sa paghahanap buhay para ikayod yung mga anak nila. So wala na silang panahon para turuan ang kanilang mga anak kung ano yung tama at mali. And according to the meaning of this slide, so also the socioeconomic status. So socioeconomic, it refers to if you are high rank or low rank family, so it will leads to somehow negative or positive emotion of the children. Next is school atmosphere. The healthy and conducive atmosphere of the school always result in the balance of emotional development of children. I am strongly agree with this statement of the meaning of the school atmosphere. So, kaya nga diba, our Department of Education uh, provided or give a law of this anti-bullying, for that the children or the learners should have or develop uh, their positive emotions in the school. So it should be healthy, conductive atmosphere. When you say healthy, so there is nobody that will give a children a factor that can trigger his negative emotions. How are we going to determine or distinguish if if we have already this emotional maturity, or our emotion already matured? So emotional maturity is when someone can manage their emotions no matter their circumstances. They know how to respond to tough situations and still keep their cool. It's a skill set they can constantly work on over time. So this means that no matter how hard their situation it is, or the circumstances, they know how to balance their emotions. So they can also respond if they can experience, or they can might experience tough situation. They can keep their self calm and cool. So they can they can also have this cons- cons- consistently work on over time, especially in those days when we have these rough days in making our reports, or if 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 the children have this a lot of reports or uh, activities or situations they are in, so they can uh, work overtime without any things that can hinder their activity to make it possible, because they they can they know how to balance their emotions amidst of the situation, even if it's tough situations. So how do you develop emotional maturity? So it is often easy to spot an emotionally mature person, as people are naturally drawn to them thanks to their ability to listen without judgment and show empathy to others. So if a person uh, tell something about his or her negative personality, so a person who have this emotional development, they will no longer jump into conclusion, or they will no longer jump into judgment, but they show empathy to others. They show what we call this, an emotions that they have this emphasize affection towards the others, especially when listen to the problems or to their experiences that shared to them. So a large part of emotional maturity comes from being with your emotions and being honor yourself about how are you are feeling. Why is being emotionally mature important? Why is it important to become mature or to become emotionally mature? Maintaining your emotional age plays a significant role in your employment growth and can reward with large dividends, which will spill over into many years of your life. Leading by example, improving your active listening skills and saying thank you carries a lot of weight with your subordinates. So we should be thankful of the achievement of the others, so that they can feel that they are important, and their feelings will be give them effort to improve their skills, kasi gagaan yung pakaramdam nila when we're going to honor, or when we're going to say thank you for their achievement. So we should be leading by example. So we ourselves, so we should be we are the one to be an example to others. So meaning to say, if how no I with if we know how to control our emotions, so the others also can control their emotions, especially when handling things during these hectic days sa mga trabaho na ginagawa ng bawat isa. So, 'di ba, sa if you're going to explain in Filipino, so kapag ang isang isang tao magsasalita ng thank you, parang yung pakiramdam ng isang tao ay ang tawag niyan, magagaan yung kanyang yung kanyang pakiramdam, kasi someone appreciate uh, his or her achievement. There are many ways to improve or maintain good emotional health. So, marami ng mga paraan paano natin ma-improve or ma-maintain yung mga positibong pag-uugali or yung good emotional health, yung kalusugan natin sa ating emosyon. So, first is be aware of your emotions and reactions. Notice what in your life makes you sad, frustrated, or angry. Try to address or change those things. So dapat alam mo yung so dapat alam mo yung yung mga bagay na nakapagbibigay ng kalungkutan sa iyo, ng mga frustration, and those things na nagbibigay sa iyo ng galit. And dapat you know how to balance para maging aware ka sa mga or sa emosyon na iyong maipapalabas o maipapakita sa ibang tao. So, next, express your feelings in appropriate way. So, you should act in appropriate ways. Let people close to you know when something is bothering you. So, if something is bothering you, let them know. If you have problems, if you are upset, if you are broken-hearted, let them know for you to gain or to acquire advices from them. Keeping feelings of sadness or anger inside adds to stress. So we shouldn't keep our feelings inside to us because it will give us stress. So keeping feelings or of sadness or anger inside adds to stress. So dapat hindi tayo magkimkim ng galit at hindi tayo mag nag ano nag magbaon ng kalungkutan sa ating puso kasi it will give us stress. It can cause problems in your relationship at work or school. So yes, because from time to time kapag stress ka, so siyempre matawag yan masisira yung relasyon nyo kasi konting kibo ng kasama mo. So you might be upset or you might be ano yes, you might be upset and easily to get upset. So it can cause problems in your relationship at work, at school. So always remember, so express your feelings in an appropriate way. So by expressing our feelings, if we are sad or we are happy, so let them know if we are happy or we are sad for them to address. So for them to address your problems on them para they can might have these advices. So that what are you going to do or ano yung mga gagawin mo para maiwasan yung mga problema na yung naranasan, especially when you are in those negative emotions na nasa iyong loob. Next is think before you act. Give yourself time to think and be calm before you say or do something you might regret. So always remember that regret comes to an end. So always think before you act. So uh, kung saan pa isipin natin ng ilang beses bago tayo mag gagawa ng isang bagay. So next, manage your stress. So if you are stressed, so when you say manage your stress, so you should know how to manage your stress. If you are stressed enough, so give time to yourself. Kung ang pagpunta ba sa mga lugar na ito ay makatulong sa iyo para mabawasan yung stress mo, so why not do it? So learn relaxation methods to cope with stress. So yun yung sinabi ko kanina, if going to a certain place can give you a relaxation, so do it. This could include deep breathing, meditation, and exercise. So even yung deep breathing natin, yung inhale and exhale natin, especially during those exercises na ginagawa natin, and even yung meditation. When you say meditation, you are meditating something, so it can uh, it can manage our stress. Next is strive for balance. So find a healthy balance between work and place, and between activity and rest. Make time for you to enjoy and focus on positive things in your life. So always remember, fellow classmates, that only focus on those positive things in your life, not those things na mga negative kasi it will give you stress. Take care of your physical health. Exercise regularly, eat healthy meals, and get enough sleep. Do not abuse drugs or alcohol. Keep your physical health from affecting your emotional health. So we should take good care of our physical health always by doing those things. Una, we can have this exercise regularly. So we should eat healthy meals. Uh, by eating vegetables, fruits, and drinking our vitamins, and always get enough sleep. So wag tayong magbilar o magpulaw. So do not abuse drugs or alcohol. So do not engage in uh, dangerous drugs or even in alcohol. Next, connect with others. So make lunch date, join a group, and say hi to strangers. We need positive connections with other people. So we should be a friendly person. So for us to become matured in our emotion, because we know how to mingle we mingle with others. Find purpose and meaning. Figure out what's important to you in life and focus on that. This could be your work, your family, volunteering, caregiving, and something else. Spend your time doing what feels meaningful to you. So this is how we're going to do. So by doing or making those things that what we love. So find purpose and meaning of your life. So pwede yan sa trabaho mo, sa family, so making volunteering, of being a volunteer, so caregiving, and others. And stay positive. So stay positive, focus on the good things in your life. Forgive yourself for making mistakes and forgive others. Spend time with healthy and positive life. So stay positive by doing good things and by forgiving yourself by by committed or you have done mistakes in your past life, so forget it and forgive yourself and spend time with healthy and positive people. So you should know whom we're going to be with, so that they can help you to grow holistically and to gain an emotional maturation. So what is emotional health? Emotional health is an important part of overall health. People who are emotionally healthy are in control of their thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. They are able to cope with life's changes or life changes and challenges. They can keep problems and perspective and bounce back from setbacks. They feel good about themselves and have good relationships. So emotional health. So meaning to say, you can know how to control emotions. You know how to control your negative feelings, your positive feelings, and you can cope up or cope with the life's challenges that you might be encountered in your life. Being emotionally healthy doesn't mean you are happy all the time. So it doesn't mean that you're emotionally healthy, so you are happy all the time. Why is it? So it means you are aware of your emotions. So you're aware of your emotions. So meaning to say, you know whether your emotions is negative or positive. You can deal with them. So you can them both your emotions, whether they are positive or negative. Emotionally healthy people still stress, anger, and sadness. So it doesn't mean that you are emotional healthy. You can't experience stress, anger, and sadness. So, meron pa rin yung mga problema, yung galit ka pa rin, then kakaranas ka ng mga yung mga kalungkutan. But they know how to manage their negative feelings. So, meaning to say, emotionally healthy, you should know or you should know how to manage or control your negative feelings. They can tell when a problem is more than they can handle on their own. So, by yourselves, you can handle your own your own feelings. They also know when to speak help from the doctor. So, if if you are not capable or hindi mo na kaya na ma-handle yung sarili mo, so it's time to seek advice from attending to session or from the doctor. So what are the factors that affect emotional development in children? So there are a lot of factors. First, we have these hereditary factors. So this is a genetic factor. So it has been seen that some similarities are found between emotional developments of parents as well as children. So this will uh, matter when a mother develop his child in his tummy on her pregnancy period. So it can be hereditary kung sa panahon nga tawag niyan ang isang ina moody, so perhaps the child can be moody sa paglaki niya. So kung masayahin naman, pwede yung magiging masayahin yung bata pag paglaki niya. So it depends on the genetic factor or hereditary factor. Next is maturation. As the child develops mentally, he also gets emotionally matured. It has been proved through experiments by psychologists to develop their emotions of the child depends upon the maturation of the child. So maturation, I mean to say you are matured enough to handle your own emotions. So you can know how to handle the two kinds of uh, emotions, the positive and the negative. Next, we have this training. Watson has proved that children learn through conditioning. He did an experiment on a 9 months old baby. The baby was shown a rat. In the background, a loud sound was made. After some time, it has been that the baby started crying at the sight of the rat. So training. So by undergoing a training, so we can develop our emotional development. Next, we have this health. Children with sound health are able to control their emotions in a better way. Children who are weak remain irritable, easily excitable, and emotionally unstable. So, it's a big factor when the children are good in health because also their emotion is healthy. But those children who are sick or who are weak, so they get up or they get easily excitable and irritable and they cannot control their emotions. Next is intelligence. Children who are intelligent are emotionally stable. Children with low intelligence quotient are emotionally unstable. So children who are intelligent, emotionally stable, so those intelligent children, they know how to balance their emotions. They know how they're going to adapt their negative and positive emotions. But those who are in low in IQ, their emotion in is unstable. So they don't know how to control or to manage their emotions. Next, we have this family relation. Relation of family members with each other and how they express their emotions affects the emotional behavior of the child. If the behavior of the parents is stable and they express their emotions in a subdued and balanced manner, the child will also learn to express his emotion in a balanced manner. If the parents shout in anger, show violent, behavior, the baby also adopts the same behavior and shows temper tantrum. So, yes, tama ito. So, if the parents show positive emotions, also the children will adapt or will express the same emotions. But those family or those parents who live in troubled family, or somehow they are always shouting, or they always expressing statement in anger, or the children show violence in their house. So the children will also adapt those things he or she might be experienced in their house. So some they can experience this tantrums. So magkakaroon ng tantrums yung isang bata kasi nga lahat na nakikita niya mga negative na mga bagay. So always remember that family relation is a big factor to the development of the emotion of a children. So positive emotions of the parents also expresses their children a positive emotions. Next, we have the social environment. Just like family, neighborhood, school, society members exert influence on the emotional development of a child. If the environment of the society is tense and emotionally charged, the child will also become emotionally unstable. If people around are emotionally stable, they express their emotions in socially approved way. If people have control over their emotions, the child also imitates and follows the patterns regarding of his emotions. So, madali lang sa intindihin. So, meaning to say, kung ano yung nakikita ng mga bata, so yun din ang kanya nilang ginagawa. Kung sa bahay pa lang, kung lahat ng mga lahat ng nakikita niya mga negatibo, yun ang mga adapt niya. Kung if the parents also doing positive actions, positive activities, ang ginagawa niya sa bahay, yun rin ang ma-adapt ng bata. So, that's social environment. Next, we have this control over emotions. So, to maintain physical and mental health, it is very necessary to have control over emotions. At the time of emotional state, body undergoes many changes like change in blood circulation, pulse rate, breathing, effect on the digestive system, switching of eyes, closing of fists, etc. When these emotional states are created in the body frequently and instantly, it affects the body badly. So, if we don't know how to control our emotions, so what the heart and the mind conceive, the body will also follow, or the body will achieve. So kung ano yung nasa puso mo, kung ano yung nasa utak mo, yun ang kasi you cannot control your emotions, so your body will have or will undergoes changes. Yung kanina sinabi ko yung blood circulation, tataas yung dugo mo, pulse rate, yung mabilis yung pulso mo, and then yung pag-breathing mo, di ba when you are anger, parang na, mabilis yung pagtakbo ng ano mo, ng tibok ng puso mo, and then effect on the digestive system. So always control your emotions. So how are we going to educate ourselves how to develop our emotions? So what is emotional education? According to SEL or SEL is the process through which all young people and adults acquire and apply the knowledge, skills, and attitudes to develop healthy identities, manage emotions, and achieve personal and collective goals, feel and show empathy for others, establish and maintain supportive relationships, and make responsible and caring. So this is mean that we should know how to manage our emotions, We should know how to feel and show empathy for others, and we should have this supportive relationship for our parents, and we should know how to take good care and being a responsible individual. Educational emotions. Some cognitive psychologists believe that students who have positive attitudes toward education also feel as they are in control of their own learning, which leads to increased effort. This is an upward spiral. Students who put in more than effort will feel additional positive results, which will lead to even more effort even put in. Some students have developed what Carol Dweck calls a growth mindset toward education. Positive feelings toward learning can make students more motivated. So, meaning to say, so if our feelings is positive toward learning, so we can have, or we can be a motivative learners. So who have this positive attitude toward education also feel as they are in control of their own learning. So tama nga naman. So iba, if you are well educated, you know how to balance your attitude towards learning. So kung yung pag-uugali mo positibo, kahit na mahirap yung pagkatuto, kahit mahirap yung asignatura, kasi nga you are always positive, so you can control your own learning. So mas tataas yung effort mo para mag-aral pa ng mabuti, kasi nga kahit na mahirap para sa iyo, pero positibo yung pag-uugali mo, yung emotion mo, kasi nga gusto mong matuto, gusto mo mag-aral. So yun siya. Positive positive attitude toward education also feel as they are in control of their own learning, which leads to increased effort. So mas tataas pa ang iyong effort na gagawin kapag positibo yung pag-uugali, kasi kahit nahihirapan ka, pero kasi nga gusto mo, ginusto mo, so walang mahirap para sa mga positibo ang pag-uugali. With positive emotions, we should expect to see less students skipping classes. So sa daw, kung positibo ang imong emotions, mabawasan yung mga estudyanteng naga cutting classes, naga-skip sa ilang mga classes, skipping classes or dropping out altogether. Even yung mga interested na mga learners, mabawasan yung mga dropouts natin. Students will want to engage with learning materials. So magugustuhin pa nila yung mas lalong matuto, mag-engage, makisalamuha, which will be very good for student learning in the long run. So through learning process, they can learn something through engaging themselves into different activities. So people with positive emotions toward learning also requires less bribes. So kapag yung isang estudyante na may positibong emosyon, so hindi na kailangan ng mga prizes or mga bribes para lang makuha yung kanilang atensyon. So rewards or punishment to encourage them to learn. So pag yung estudyante na may positibong emotions, they don't need the rewards or punishment para ma-encourage sa kanilang mga sarili. People with negative emotions, on the other hand, will not feel an eternal drive to learn. What we call it intrinsic motivation. So instead, they will only be motivated by and extrinsic factors such as bribe. Pero yung mga bata or mga taong may negatibong emotions, gusto nilang matuto sa pamamagitan na pagbibigay ng mga baon na malaki, pagbibigay ng mga prizes kapag honors. So, yun siya ang mga tinatawag nating mga extrinsic factors na ginagawa ng mga magulang para matuto ang kanilang mga bata. A catharsis is an emotional release. According to psychoanalytic theory, this emotional release is linked to a need to relieve unconscious conflicts. For example, experiencing stress over work-related situation may cause feelings of frustration and tension. So tama nga naman, if we are experiencing stress in our work, so it can lead to a frustration and tension. Magka-tension tayo dahil sa tayong stress sa trabaho. How is this catharsis helpful with healing emotions? I see catharsis is an essential part of expressing, processing, and releasing emotional tensions that stored in the body, according to Body Bore said. So this catharsis is a big help in emotional uh, development of a children because they 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 know how to express, to process, and to release their emotional tensions. There are 7 ways to achieve emotional catharsis without having a meltdown. So one is move your body. So move your body. So one of that is having a regular exercise. So take a walk, go for a run, do jumping jacks. Anything you might see, juice up 6 years old. Doing can be an outlet for negative emotions. Try martial arts for a little cathartic boost of pretend aggression. Bonus points for activities that includes flood of adrenaline like rock climbing, surfing, riding roller coaster, and speed your fear to a receive of adrenaline rush. So, adrenaline rush yung nakakagawa ka ng mga bagay dahil nga sa adrenaline rush. 'Di ba? Lalo na sa mga emergency situation, nangyari itong adrenaline rush. Hindi mo lang mamamalayan na nagawa mo pala itong bagay na ito dahil sa adrenaline rush. So, move your body for you to achieve an emotional catharsis without having meltdown. Second, progressive muscle relaxation. If mobility is an issue, try to progressive muscle relaxation. I know it has relaxation in the name, but half of it involves tensing each muscle group in your body. Physical energy and mental energy are enmeshed. Using your body to burn energy has the bonus side effect of releasing emotional tension. Third is make some noise. Screaming into your pillow is an obvious and accessible option. Head for an empty parking lot and scream in your car with the music blaring. Singing is a big one for me because it's a container in which you can give yourself permission to be louder and breathe more deeply than you might normally allow, she said. Karaoke is especially cathartic in this way. Have I have booked a private karaoke room in the middle of a day and spent an hour singing and or screaming lyrics to Angisi songs. So make some noise. So even in if you feel uh, stress or if you're experiencing anger, so it's will help you if you're going to make some noise 'di ba kung minsan mas pumupunta tayo sa mga sa mga lugar na nakawalan, then sumisigaw tayo para ma-relieve yung pain, yung mga emotion na nararamdaman natin. So, yung mag-awit tayo sa ating mga bahay, yung even yung mag-sounds tayo ng malalakas sa ating bahay, so it can help us to ano to have this catharsis without emotional meltdown. Next, forge your words. Telling your story, either by writing it down or speaking it aloud. It's known to leave us feeling clenched. Consider the religious ritual or of confession or the drive we feel from adolescence to put our secret through thoughts down in diaries. Mandy Burr also uses journaling and free writing to release emotions. So somehow, we can express our emotions by writing and by writing it into our journals and speak by voicing it out, speaking it out aloud, and so it can help us to leave us a feeling of cleanse. So yung parang tayo na tanggalan tayo ng tinik, yung bigat na nararamdaman sa ating digdig. Especially yung mga yung ginagawa natin some of our religious brothers and sisters, yung mga sa Roman Catholic, yung ginagawa nila yung mag-confess ng mga yung mga nila, yung nararamdaman nila sa ating sa mga confession room. So it can lesser our burden, yung burden na dinaramdam natin, yung dinadala natin ano, sa ating emosyon, sa ating puso. Fifth is act out on inanimate objects. Like Mandivar said, there can be added release in burning the written expression of your emotions. Or maybe, someone doing home renovations would let you in on demolition. Imagine throwing or smearing paint on a canvas or digging into clay with all your strength. Even some pencils sharpened could provide a cathartic outlet. So, sometimes 'di ba yung ginagawa natin yung magtapon tayo ng mga paint doon sa canvas can release the burdens na meron tayo. So and even yung doing home renovations would let you in let you on demolition. So yung mga paggawa ng mga bagay, act out on inanimate objects. Breathe fire. Breathe fire is a yoga breathing technique for building up to rapid. Forceful breath is in order to cleanse and calm. Or you could try holotrophic breath work, breathing as a fast rate to alter the balance between carbon dioxide and oxygen in the body. When facilitated by a professional, the technique involves music, controlled breathing, and creative expression. So, yung pag-breathe fire, so some of that is yung gumagawa ng mga yoga, diba? Diba? Some of them yung nagagawa sa inhale, exhale, and they're doing meditation. So, it it can it can help to cleanse and to make us calm with the with the assistance of a professional. So it can also involves technique by using music. So you can control your breathe in and breathe out, and through your creative expression also. Last is get cathartic the old-fashioned way. Skin, wrote, cathartic reactions are evoked by observing emotional scenes and processes and the environment. This is called dramatic relief. The individual's experience of catharsis by observing the scenes in the external environment and feeling a great relief as a result is as old as the history of humanity and is very common. So, yung panonood natin ng mga ng mga drama ng mga scene, yung mga dramatic scene. So, after that, maka-relief kayo ng inyong emotion. So it is a old-fashioned way of expressing or uh, relieving us from an emotional disturb. So that's end my discussion this morning. Thank you for listening and for viewing my video lesson of an emotional development. So I hope that you have learned something from me. So what are the things we should know, and what are the things that we should not do it to ourselves, and we learn that emotions can be can have this maturation, and we can learn from it how to manage our emotions, how to become a matured individual when handling our emotions. So thank you. Goodbye.